Guys, if you think for 1 second, one single solitary second, that any of these players, or specifically the players' union, or the owners give a single shit about making the game better, the only thing they care about making is money. All right, let's do this. Let's talk some Major League Baseball and the lockout and what's going on. Quite simply, we've seen this before. This is nothing new from either of these two parties. The Major League Baseball Players Association is greedy. The owners are greedy. Both sides are greedy. Both sides want to maximize. Both sides, here's the thing. The only people that are going to lose at the end of the day in all of this are us, the baseball fans. Okay? Make no mistake about it. No, but here's the thing. I don't want you guys blaming MLB. I don't want you blaming the players. I want you blaming both of them because they're both at fault here. This is nothing more than a power struggle and two greedy sides fighting it out over who's going to get the most amount of money. And the only people that are going to suffer in the long run are the fans, because no matter what, prices are going to go up. And so tickets are going to go up. Everything is going to go up across the board so that these people can continue to be as greedy as they are. So the MLB commissioner will tell you that this is the players' fault. And the players will tell you that it's the commissioner's fault. And the owners, they're going to tell you that, well, we tried to be, operate in good faith. We've tried to negotiate in good faith. And then what they'll do is they're going to spin it back to, we think the following items are the best for the game. Oh, fuck you. No, you don't. It's the best for your pocketbook. Guys, if you think for 1 second, one single solitary second, that any of these players, or specifically the players' union, or the owners give a single shit about making the game better, the only thing they care about making is money. Period. So when I have to read all of these things and talk about it, it makes me vomit. Ugh. I don't understand why these two sides have to be so goddamn greedy. How much is too much? They're never going to get enough. They talk about, look, first of all, let's read Rob Manfred's part of his statement and his letter to fans, which is nauseating. We already have teams in small markets that struggle to compete. Really? Really? Do you, Rob? Because I feel like the A's have been pretty competitive. I feel like the Rays have been pretty competitive. Boy, the Giants were really good. KC went to a World Series in 2015. The Nationals won a World Series also, and they wouldn't be considered a major Oh, shut up! Don't give me no more of this small market team bullshit, okay? We're only making hundreds of millions, not hundreds and hundreds of millions. Ah! I don't want to hear this shit anymore about small markets. I'm so sick of hearing that shit. It's a ridiculous, bullshit, lame-ass argument. Well, we can't compete with the Yankees. I'm sorry. How many World Series have the Yankees won? How many World Series have the based on all the money they've spent, and the Angels and the Cubs and the Red Sox and the Astros and all these teams that are, well, the Astros. Money is an excuse at this point in baseball. Money is an excuse. You look at the Rays, you look at the A's. Those are two teams that show you how to do this. The Cardinals. I mean, come on. The Brewers aren't a big market team. They've been competitive as hell. It's an excuse. It's a lame-ass excuse. Justice Winfrey said they just need to implement a salary cap already and stop being ridiculous. That's not going to help. The players are never going to allow a salary cap. They don't want a salary cap because it's going to limit what overall the player pool can make. They're fighting for a salary minimum. They want to raise the minimum. They don't want a cap. They want more money. A cap to the players, a cap only means that the owners win. It's more money in the owner's pocket. Well, I know I only have to spend this much. So if I only have to spend $300 million a year, and that's the cap, sorry, can't pay anybody any more money. Sorry about that. This is a cash grab all the way around. So he goes on to say, shortening the period of time that they can control players makes it even harder for them to compete. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. And what he's talking about here is when he says small market teams, the way that they're able to compete is they get a good young player and they have team control for 5 years because he's got to go through arbitration every single year before he can become an unrestricted free agent, and they lose him to the highest bidder. So that's Rob Manfred's argument, is that, but having that team control and arbitration, well, that just gives us better players for longer. No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. What it gives you is good players for little money. That's the catch here. That's the trick. And the fact of the matter is, the owners are getting rich. The players are getting rich. Nobody's losing. So all of this bullshit is nothing but posturing on both sides. It says it's also bad for fans in those markets. The most negative reaction we have is when a player leaves via free agency. We don't see that. Making it earlier, available, easier. We don't see that as a positive. Bullshit. Fans aren't fucking stupid, Rob. Fans aren't stupid. You're making excuses. Oh, the most negative thing we see is when fans leave. Bullshit. Because if the Yankees get Carlos Correa, guess what? That's a huge positive to the Yankees. You think people in LA are like, oh man, they don't give a shit if they're not getting Correa? Yeah, they're mad. If the Astros lose Correa, yeah, they're mad. You think the Rays give a shit? Do you think the Brewers give a shit that Carlos Correa went from the Astros to the Yankees? No. No, that is an excuse. Think about this for 1 second. Are you guys upset? Are you guys upset that Max Scherzer became a free agent and went somewhere else? No. Yeah, I'm sure Mets fans are just so negative about getting Max Scherzer. Oh, they're just pissed. Oh, I'm sure Angels fans are just distraught over Jacob deGrom becoming an Angel. And boy, don't you know Royals fans are mad about both. No one gives a shit. We look forward to free agency. Look at all the money being spent. This guy went here. This guy went there. It's not negative. It's a whole media cycle. This is a goddamn excuse. Well, free agency is ruining baseball. No, it's not. It makes you relevant in the offseason, you dumbass. So that was Rob Manfred's bullshit quote. Well, one of them. His whole letter was just full of bullshit. Rob Manfred's out here trying to act like we just learned what free agency is. What? You mean people get to choose where they work? This is so negative. We're not idiots. We see free agency in every single sport that we pay to watch. We're not stupid. Just angers me. So here was the Major League Baseball Players Association's statement. Major League Baseball has announced a lockout of players, shutting down our industry. This shutdown is a dramatic measure, regardless of the timing. It is not required by law or for any other reason. It was the owner's choice, plain and simple, specifically calculated to pressure players. I don't know why they capitalized players. Into relinquishing rights and benefits and abandoning good faith bargaining proposals that will benefit not just players, but the game and the industry as a whole. Bullshit. 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 The players union is the most powerful union in sports, and everything they do is driven by the dollar. Everything they do is driven by the dollar. So to sit there and say that they tried to negotiate in good faith that would benefit not just the players, but the game and the industry, I'm sorry. Sorry, players. No one gives a shit. We know you're not negotiating to benefit the game. You want to benefit the game? Lower the fucking ticket prices, which means you got to take less money, which means the owners have to make less money. Nobody's doing that. So unless you're planning on doing that, all this bullshit, pitch clock, speed up the game, service time, no one gives a fuck about that. Fans don't really give a shit about service time. Diehard, nerdy baseball fans care about service time. When guys like me, dorks, nerds, and idiots like me, that are like, well, you know, he's got 2 more years of arbitration, which, boy, I hope they get a good number from him. And statistically, he's probably going to make a little more money than he did before, but maybe if they treat him well, he'll win every side. But most people, most cash that just watch, don't give a fuck that Alex Bregman had 2 years left of service time when he renegotiated with the Astros. They don't give a shit. You guys are so full of yourselves, players. So full of yourselves. So they go on to add, these tactics are not new. We've been here before, and players have risen to the occasion time and time again. Your salaries rose. Guided by a solidarity that has been forged over generations of being unnegotiating assholes. We will do so again. It's going to be a long winter. I'm just translating for you here. We remain determined to return to the field under the terms of a negotiated collective bargaining agreement that is fair to all parties and makes us more money than we made in the last CBA. Also, it provides fans with blah, blah, blah. We don't really give a shit about that last part. We don't mean it. But provides fans with the best version of the game we love. What does you making more money have to do with providing the best version of the game that we love? That's the thing I don't understand about this. If Jim Crane is making an extra $100 million a year and Justin Verlander's making an extra $20 million a year or 2 years, or who gives a fuck? What does that have to do with baseball on the field? Nothing. Meanwhile, you got minor leaguers over here eating fucking peanut butter sandwiches, traveling on Greyhounds next to crackhead and meth dealers, fucking living out of suitcases in squalor, 15 to a hotel room. Well, we want to do what's best for baseball. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Daddy's making a YouTube video!